How's it going? I'm Brendan, your YouTube audience, people. Or friends, forever. Best friends, forever. My nephew says it, best friends, forever. It's really cute. So, guys, what we're going to talk about today for part 2 of, that was really perfect. Part 2 of today's video is going to be the second mistake that every beginner makes when they start weightlifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, everything. Remember, like I said in the first video, I'm not an expert. I'm still relatively a beginner compared to most people. But here are some mistakes that I made when I started out. This is very important, and I believe this is information that you should listen to because I've done this mistake 3 times. And I think I know what I'm talking about when I talk about this. And this mistake is they misinterpret eat big, get big. Everyone says it. Well, gotta eat big to get big, you know? And while this is true, if you eat in a huge caloric surplus, you will gain a lot of weight. You will get big. However, for as much muscle tissue as you gain, you will gain an equal amount of fatty tissue. And you don't want that because obviously it's inevitable to gain some fat during a bulk, if you want to call it that. But you want to try and minimize those fat gains for multiple reasons. This is kind of pushing towards people that are thinking about competing, because if you just want to get big and strong, I mean, you're really not going to be too interested in diet, but if you want to look good or compete or stay in relatively good shape and just cut down for summer, stuff like that, this should be for that audience. So guys, eat big, get big does not mean eat as much food as you possibly can cram in your mouth and then, eat more. Eat big, get big basically means eat what you need for your caloric needs for your body and then eat a little bit above it, because that's how you're going to gain muscle. That's how you're going to minimize fat loss. How are you going to do that? How do you know what you need for calories? Well, 1, you can get your BMR tested. Take that to a good dietitian. Oh, my phone scared me. Oh my god. That was terrifying. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so you can take your BMR or something like that, get it tested in the morning, and no water, no food, nothing in you, no caffeine. Get an accurate one. Take that to someone that knows how to break that down into, macronutrients for you. Or you can do it yourself, and this is going to be a little bit tough, but you can start out by kind of taking accurate weight measurements every week, kind of setting your own macros. So this is an example, of course. I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist. I always recommend going to one that is worked with bodybuilding athletes because they're going to know what you need. I have a great coach. I've had great coaches in the past, and it's helped me stay accountable more than anything. So let's say you try it out and you're like, well, I'm 170 pounds, 5'10" male, 20 years old. Okay, so you can kind of get a general estimate of what you need. You're going to need about 170 or so grams of protein. I mean, that's kind of the general given. There are studies saying you need a half a gram per body weight or 1.5 grams. Just start out with 1 gram per pound of body weight. That's a good place to start. There are studies either side. And for carbs are kind of hard. People are always like, go low carb, go high carb, don't do carbs. If you're around there, a good starting point for carbs for a healthy male is always 200, in my opinion. Carbs are very important. You can raise carbs, you can lower carbs. Carbs are easy to get in your diet. And for fats are always kind of tricky, but about 50 to 60 is kind of the usual for a healthy male. Now, this is just an example. If you're a 5'3" woman who's 117 pounds, these aren't going to be the right macros for you. If you're a 5'7" male who's 170 pounds, these might not be the right macros for you. But you need to figure that out yourself. You need to make your own macro split and figure out what is your baseline. What is going to keep you at 170 pounds no matter what, week after week. You might have to take 3 weeks to see what your weight does. If your weight stays 170, 171, 169, right in that area, then you can slowly increase your carbs. Protein doesn't really need to be increased because protein you need about 1 gram, like I said, per pound of body weight. That's the general consensus. It's just a good place to start. Carbs, I would start with increasing carbs because fats are going to have more calories per gram. So let's start with carbs. Slowly increase your carbs 5 to 7 to 10, 7 to 10, 5, I'll say 5 to 7 per week. So you're starting at 200, the week after you're going to do 205. Make sure you're hitting these numbers very closely. You need to hit your macronutrient totals to have an accurate reading. So you hit 205 and then your weight stays the same. Okay, I didn't have a bad increase, like a 3-pound increase, so it's slow. Then the next week you're going to go to 210. This is also kind of a form of reverse dieting, but it's almost getting into dieting in general because you want to start low because you might lose a couple pounds your first week. I mean, just by tracking, because your body's not used to having so many carbs and having such little fat, because if you're not tracking anything, you're probably getting too much fat in your diet. There's a good chance. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to slowly increase your calories. You're not going to jump straight from not tracking to 4,000 calories, because that's just going to make you gain a lot of fatty tissue. So start slow, build up your carbs slowly, maybe increase your fats too. Those can increase a gram or 2, maybe every other week or so, because that's 9 calories per gram. Carbs and protein are 4. And then you're going to do that, and that's how I would recommend doing it yourself. Find your starting point, increase your carbs slowly. So, in retrospect, let's talk about what I just said. Guys, eat big, get big does not mean eat whatever you want, gain as much weight as you can. It means take it slow, eating what you need, and then a little bit above it. Because that's how you gain weight, and that's how you minimize fat loss, or fat gainage. The reason you don't want to gain that much fat in a bulk, people are like, who cares, I'm bulking, bro, throwing everything in their mouth. Yeah, if you're going to stay in perma-bulk mode, sure, look like that, do that, that's fine. But one, you're going to get really uncomfortable. For the first few weeks, you will feel like a Greek god in the gym, because you will be full, you'll be like totally satiated muscles, everything is going to be awesome. Then all of a sudden the fat will start, tissue, you will start gaining a lot more fat throughout the weeks, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I just gained 15 pounds in 3 weeks, this isn't good muscle tissue, and now I really feel bleh. And then when you diet down for a show, I would much rather gain a little less muscle through a 20-week bulk, but gaining less fat, than gaining more fat with more muscle and having to lose some of that muscle to lose the fat and have to diet for longer. In the end, you're gonna probably gain more muscle by taking it very slow. At the end, the peak of your bulk, before you start dieting, you'll probably gain more muscle by eating whatever you want. But by the end of your show, if you diet for 20 weeks, you're gonna have less muscle than if you had to diet for 8 weeks. So, guys, take it slow. It's okay to slowly increase your carbs. You will get there. It's a patience game. I went from 250 carbs after my show, and that was pretty high. That was a relatively high jump, but I was in a pretty big deficit because I did the exact same thing I just said not to do. I bulked up way too much, got put on way too much body fat, and I had to lose it all, and I lost a lot of muscle. My metabolism was very, very slowed down, and it was just not good. So I bumped up my carbs a little bit. In the first 4 weeks of reverse dieting, I actually lost weight. So take it slow, guys. And now I started at 250. I'm now up to 375, going on 400 if these next few weeks go well. Have I gained some fat back? Yeah, that's gonna happen. But 18 weeks after my first show, I did another show after dieting for 10 days. So that kind of shows you how well this works with not gaining body fat. I've increased my carbs every week, but this last week, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't increase it because I didn't have the best week myself, just for weight and stuff like that, and my meals are a little off just because I had a lot going on. But guys, I took it slow, and now I'm eating almost 150 more carbs a day, and I'm gaining muscle a lot faster than I was 20 weeks ago, and I'm looking a lot better than I was last year when I was just thinking I'm gonna eat whatever I want. So guys, take it slow, figure out what your just basic staying put calorie in total is, slowly raise it up, you'll be golden. Guys, if you have any questions or if you have anything you want to ask me, feel free to contact me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. It's all Harberts Health. Thank you as always for watching. Make sure to like the video, helps a lot, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. You all mean the world to me. Have a good day. Peace out, bye.
And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways.